حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستهديه ونسترشده ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين حبيب رب العالمين سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجمعنا بهم واجعلنا معهم في عليين يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. اللهم ارض عنهم وارض عنا بهم ومعهم يا أرحم الراحمين آمين. We will talk today about a topic that might be looked at as a small issue. But to be honest, sometimes small issues compared to bigger ones as well, when they become repeated so many times, and when they happen 24/7, they become a huge mountain of issues. And they may lead to huge distraction, not only in the individual life, but also in the whole community. Nowadays, with all the great and huge challenges we have, sometimes we do forget to talk or tackle or pay attention to things that are very important. Let's first read this ayah, explain it, and then inshallah we'll go to the topic. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. Allah Azza wa Jal is talking to the all people, son of Adam, children of Adam, and Allah is telling them that be aware, Yawm al-Qiyamah is coming for sure. And in that Yawm al-Qiyamah, in the last day of judgment, you will see something so huge, so big, so different and scary. And here the ayah mentioned, Yawm al-Qiyamah has a lot of description. One of it, it's zalzala. Inna zalzalata as-sa'a, it is the shake of earth. For those of you who have not experienced earthquake, I did, and it is very scary. I was studying in the Philippines 25 years ago, and one huge 7.3 degree earthquake happened early 90s, and I did experience that feeling. And to be honest, nothing can describe it. When the earth shakes under your feet and you want to run away and you have nowhere to go. Wallahi, this feeling, I still have it in my heart, I cannot relieve of it. The buildings are really moving and people are screaming, running right and left, and I'm in the middle of the street, just out of the university, looking around and I don't know what to do. All what came to my mind is, I don't want the earth to open in crack, because that's what I see in movies. I was afraid a crack will open suddenly, so I'm avoiding any opening, any drainage system, and I want to stay away from buildings, trees that may fall over me. but still there's nowhere to go. Subhanallah. Thousands of people were killed at that earthquake, and it is something very scary. So you will understand when Allah Azza wa Jal describes, and of course the earthquake Yawm al-Qiyamah, it's nothing like earthquake in dunya. And Allah wants it to make closer to you. Allah says, in that type of scared moment, you will see that the strongest ties and the strongest attention in the world is the attention of the mother with her newborn baby, breastfeeding her new baby. Those who are married knows what we're talking about. The mother is willing to make everyone mad except the baby. The husband, no, she wouldn't care. Her father, her neighbors, her kids who wants the baby first, and second and last. Subhanallah. And that Allah gave her these emotions for a reason. So because the baby's life is all about depending on his mother, and those who were born without a mother, they have lost a lot. So yet in Yawm al-Qiyamah, that mother will not pay any attention to her baby. The baby may drop from her hand, leaving his own food and milk, and she doesn't know. She couldn't pay attention. That's how scary is that day. Not only that, even those who are pregnant, and we also know those who are married, that a pregnant woman will also take care of her baby inside her body to the maximum. The way she walks, the way she carries stuff, the way she does this and that. That mother, Yawm al-Qiyamah, will lose her baby and she will not pay attention to it. And losing a baby while pregnant, that means a lot of pain, a lot of blood, a lot of mess around. It's not easy. She will not pay attention to that. And one more last thing. And you will look Yawm al-Qiyamah, something I felt in dunya, a little bit of it, that people are running around as if they are drunk. They bang to one another. They yell. They don't know what are they doing. They lost their mind, literally, as if they are drunk and they are not in the full consciousness. This is how Yawm al-Qiyamah will look like according to Allah in Surah Al-Hajj, Ayah 1 and 2. And Allah tells us why. وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَ وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ. They are not drunk. And nobody here is out of his mind. Everybody is in the normal state. But the punishment of Allah Azza wa Jal is big deal of a punishment. The consequences of the bad deeds, the shake of earth, going back to life after, when Allah Azza wa Jal decides everybody come back and be available for judgment in the judgment day, it is a scary moment. So I started with this ayah that most of the khatibs, they read, but sometimes we do not grasp the meanings of it. And it does not sometimes make our feelings work with it. Why? Because we get used to the wordings. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة. We just hear it and then it goes. No, that's not what Quran is for. This ayah alone, 10 khutab is not enough to go through one word at a time. So today, as I told you, I'm going to talk about a matter that may seem small to some of us, but it is big. And I started with this ayah to make sure you use what you learned today so Allah will help you in that day, or in Judgment Day. What is today's topic? It's ni'matul basar. The eye, the ni'mah of an eye, the bounty, the gift of the blessings that Allah gave us by giving us ni'mat al-basar, the eye. And every ni'mah comes with do and don't. Something that you do to get closer to Allah and worship Him using that ni'mah, that blessing, that part of your body, that gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. And at the same time, there are restrictions, there are things that you should not do, where if you do it, it will lead you والعياذ بالله إلى غضب الله وعذابه ونقمته. It will lead you to Allah's anger and Allah's punishment. نعمة البصر برغم صغرها تتسع لرؤية الكون والتفكر فيه. A very small part of your body, few millimeters, yet it's the window that connects you to see the whole world. With this eye, we look at Mars and Venus, we look at the beautiful picture that lately have been issued online, that you see the universe, subhanallah. Without al-basar, you cannot see this, you cannot enjoy it. Let's do tafakkur with all the bounties and ni'am that Allah gave us. And Allah said in the Quran, told us how to use it. Allah gave you this ni'mah and Allah taught me what to do with it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت. Wouldn't they look how Allah created the camel and and animals as an animal with a lot of features that worth, and every creature that Allah created is worth looking at and analyzing and do tafakkur, do deep thinking. And those who've studied science, biology, and they know when Allah choose the camel, why He chose the camel. It's, people spend their life to study the features of animals, and camel is one of the very special ones. But Allah used here أَفَلَا يَنظُرُونَ. Why don't they see? Why wouldn't they look? So the nazar, Allah mentioned it in so many ayat. Now, very easy. If you tell anybody of us what Allah wants us to do with our eyes, we all know Allah wants us to look at halal, read Quran, look at the faces of our mom and dad, discover the word, invent things, use it properly to be utilized by humanity, by yourself, by Muslim Ummah, and be the bridge for Jannah. Everything Allah gave you, it is to be used for you as a vehicle to Jannah. This life is temporary. Every tool. Just imagine yourself going camping, going to a trip, going to travel from one area to another. Everything you have, it is designed to help you through the trip. It is not designed, you will not take with you building materials, so you will build your house, in the other country that you're going to. You will only take what you need to use to have a journey that's full of blessings and tranquility and peace, make you closer to your destination. So this eye is a tool for you to help you go to Jannah. And again, if we don't use it properly, we have described Yawm al-Qiyamah already, how scary and shaky it is. طيب. So what are the things that today we want to focus on more? It is khuluq or طبع غض البصر. It is how to lower your gaze, how to sustain your eyes from the haram. And as I told you in the beginning, it may be for some, it's known, it's something not big deal. Salah is important to talk about, Hajj, Jihad, Sabr, Sawm. No. These, what you think is small could be the biggest issue nowadays. Wallahi, it could be one of the biggest issues we face nowadays. And let's see how, if it is small, how Allah Azza wa Jal have mentioned it so many times in the Quran. Look at this ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون وقل للمؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهن ويحفظن فروجهن. This ayah tells us exactly what we should be careful of when it comes to using our eyes as a ni'mah from Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is talking In the first ayah which we read, Ya ayyuhan nas ittaqullah, for all people, you need to know that there is Yawm al-Qiyamah and this is what will happen. But in this ayah, Allah is talking to you as mu'mineen, the believers. So that is even more specific. Believers, and they need to be reminded, yes, 24/7. What do you want Allah Azza wa Jalla to tell us? قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم. And يغضوا فعل مضارع مستمر. You need to continuous look after your eyes and lower your gaze, sustain yourself from looking into haram. ويحفظوا فروجهم. So what is the relation? So don't look at haram and then stay away from zina. Stay away from committing a relationship, haram relationship with other genders. So what's the relationship? We will learn. There is a hadith that tells you in specific what's the relationship. Things starts with looking, ends up with doing zina. Looking is the first step towards zina. It's very dangerous. And sadly, if you just say like, okay, yesterday, where did I go? I went to Tim Hortons, I was driving here, I went with my friends at that. Did I maintain غض البصر through the day? To be honest, if you did not pay attention, next time count it. Try to count it. Try to check yourself. Make a checklist. You will find elderly, young, women, men as well, sisters and brothers. We do not pay attention to this matter that much anymore. Very few that I know have this as a ham. From the morning she decides, I'm going to stay away from looking to haram, even just for an appreciation. You don't have to. There's more to come. وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ. According to the tafsir of this ayah, and it's my first time to see why the word أَزْكَى لَهُمْ. Why do we enjoy looking at haram? We men enjoy looking at beautiful women, beautiful girls, wearing beautiful stuff or wearing Allah al-Musta'an, right? Why? It brings a certain of happiness. It feels good, feels right. There is a sa'ada, there is a zaki. Zaki in Arabic or azka, tastes good. And it does. Astaghfirullah azim wal a'yadu billah, the haram, the shaitan makes us feel good as if we have eaten a piece of dessert that we really like. That initial feeling, it is zaki. Zaki from, it tastes good. Sweet, tastes sweet. That sweetness where a lot of people enjoy in a haram way, Allah Azza wa Jalla is telling them, do غض البصر, lower your gaze, don't look, for His sake, and He will give you this feeling. La ilaha illallah. You are looking for that sweetness in the heart, which you will usually get, but it's a fake one when you look to haram. This sweetness, wallahi, will happen to you. And I'm telling you out of experience, not only theoretical. The moment you leave it, anything for Allah, you will feel special. You will feel sweetness. You will feel you won over your desire. That sweetness, ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ. And then Allah tells you, إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. Allah knows what's going on. And don't fake it. Don't think you can play around with Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is Khabir, the expert in how to make you enjoy leaving haram more than you enjoy doing haram. And the ayah continues and say, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ. Another big mistake even religious families do, they concentrate on the boys. Don't talk to girls. Don't look at girls. Don't touch girls. Even, the wife is usually the one who always keep an eye on the husband. If they are walking somewhere, why are you looking? Pay attention here if there are ladies walking by. But what is not usual anymore is the opposite. It is, yes, ladies, sisters are less in letting themselves or desire go out and look in a bad way. in generally, anatomically, physiologically, mentally, men are tends, the eyes with men are stronger in attraction, in desire. Yet, the Quran said, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ equally. So we need to remind our daughters, our wives, our moms, our sisters that it's not because you think you're away from evil, you have a white heart, that you are protected from such an evil desire. If you even watch a news, just normal news, and there is a male, and we know in broadcasting, they wear the best clothes, they do some kind of makeup, staring on the man's face for a long time, it's not from muru'ah, it's not from ghadd al-basar. For both, even it's just a news, it's just about weather. Why? غضوا, stay away from staring. The first look, the first glance, it's fine. It doesn't bring feelings out. The topic is so rich. I'll give you this hadith and then we'll take the break. And we'll tell you how dangerous is that. Very dangerous. عن أبو هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله كتب على ابن آدم حظه من الزنا أدرك ذلك لا محالة فزنا العين النظر وزنا اللسان المنطق والنفس تمنى وتشتهي والفرج يصدق ذلك كله ويكذبه متفق عليه. It's a very, I've read this hadith long time ago, but subhanallah, we don't see it or read it or talk about it as much. قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, Allah, when Allah says كتب على ابن آدم حظه من الزنا, it means that Allah Azza wa Jal, every one of us have the chance, the ability. It's not كتب means forced. No, كتب means it is available for us. We have, all of us, the human beings have the ability to get close to and touch zina one way or another. Get exposed to action that may lead to zina partially or fully. And part of that is فَزِنَا الْعَيْنُ النَّظَرِ. Allah Azza wa Jal gave examples. He did not say about the whole body, although it applies on all your body, even your money, even whatever you do, it applies. Your eye have its share of zina if you do not control it. As we said, it is the first step towards zina. And tongue, the sweet talk, the nonsense, the topics that are not needed with your classmate, with your colleague at work. If you drive Uber and a customer is there, okay, how much, where are you going? That's fine. But now you look good today, you dress nice today, do you have a boyfriend? I mean, this is haram. The talking about things that will soften the hearts and making a kind of a relationship that is not necessary at all is haram. A doctor and his patient, we're talking about medicine, we're talking about treatment, that's fine. We go beyond that and we have kind of comfort in talking, it's haram. So the tongue can be used in zina as well, as baridul zina, as a post of zina. And according to the hadith, وَالنَّفْسُ تَمَنَّى وَتَشْتَهِي, anything you look at, any sweet talk you have, the nafs, the nafs is everything about you. Your ruh, your inner soul, your being will always, tamanna wa tashtahi, will wish. The desire will move because of the eye and because of the tongue and the rest of the body. وَالْفَرْجُ يُصَدِّقُ ذَلِكَ كُلُّ وَيْكَذِّبُ. And the real action of zina, the worst of zina, the kaba'ir of zina, it will either conclude and make these stages end with the real haram, the biggest haram, the final stage of haram, or not. But even if it did not lead to zina, you have already gained enough sayyi'at and have already experienced enough evil that will make the heart, the soul, already started to decay, to suffer, which we shouldn't allow that. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين فاستغفروا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين أما بعد. My grandfather and your grandfather, if they are alive and you tell them, you ask them how did they choose their wife, most of them will tell you, I didn't have choices. Like my mom and dad told me, our neighbor or our cousin or our village members, there is a proper girl for me, and I saw her once and we got married. And if you go look at the pictures, most of the time when you would say a grandfather, what kind of a taste you have. I mean, she is not beautiful at all, to be honest. And for them, she was the most beautiful woman on earth. Why? Because they only saw her. They don't know. They've seen very few. They've seen their mom, their aunt, their sisters. That is one of the things that made my grandfather time and your grandfather time and mother time much peaceful in terms of divorce, in terms of zina, in terms of families breaking apart. That they were not exposed to internet, to TV, to radio, to music, to parties, to people walking in the street half naked or naked. So that there's no comparison to make. Whenever he feels he wants to be with his wife, he goes and he feels that he entered heaven, subhanAllah, with her. That's how close they were. It doesn't, whatever she looks like, her features, for him, this is how a female should look like. What happened nowadays for the married people? We have a lot of children, we don't want to go to details. Who thinks his wife has everything that a female should have? Why? Not because Allah did not create her beautiful. No, Allah created everybody with His own beauty. But because we have not controlled our eyes. And we have looked at things here and there, and most of them are really fake beauty. And they made the standard in our mind wrong, corrupted. She should be this, she should be that. Who said that? She should be how Allah decided she will be. That's her real beauty. And so that's why the khiyana, they say zawjiyya, and it is wrong. Khiyana zawjiyya, they say betraying your wife or betraying your husband. That's not the right term. It's khiyana ilahiyya. When you do haram stuff, when you have a girlfriend behind your wife, when you let your eye, you're not betraying your wife. And she is not, you're betraying Allah Azza wa Jal, who had a contract with you when you said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. You have signed a contract, oh Allah, you are my boss, you are my Lord, you are my way, you are the source of what I do and what I should not do. And I am your servant and slave till I die. This contract you have already signed since you accepted Islam. So when you are betraying him, when you don't do ghadd al-basar, when you do let yourself into haram. In just a minute, I've exceeded my time. What is the cure? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned few, and we ghadd al-basar. The cure is so simple. Allah Azza wa Jal helped you that all what you have to do is, you have two movement. One, close your eye, the other, move it away. Nothing is faster than that. Just a blink. Saw something wrong, blink. And then move. Simple. We don't want to talk more about that. And you can do it without anyone noticing. And Allah will help you. Second, be scared. And you have to be scared. I'm not a person who like always to use scary and Jahannam. But it is important to keep in your life that we need to be scared from the punishment. Because we know that if you, in nowadays, if you stare at someone, and they will consider it that you are sexually harassing them, just by staring. So we're scared not to stare, we just look aside. We're scared of the law. We should be scared of our Lord, not only the law. So be always fearful from Allah Azza wa Jal. Third, have sabr. Be patient. If you're not married, do your best. Have siyam. Go to masajid. Don't go to places where there is a lot of ladies. Don't go to, beaches where there is astaghfirullah. There are a lot of beaches where there is no people wearing nothing there. There is a lot to be done. Have patience and plan. And even those who are married, I tell the sisters at the back, they are not muhsan in a sense that they will not have a desire. All men will have desire. All women will have desire. So both men and women, elderly and young, should be careful with this ma'asiyah. And one last thing is concentrate on the reward and seek the sweetness that Allah Azza wa Jal have promised you when you do sustain yourself from ma'asiyah. And if you tried it once and twice, you will be a winner, and you'll keep around it. And one of the habits that Muhammad ﷺ have told us to stay away from, نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الجلوس على الطرقات فما بال الشاشات. If Muhammad ﷺ told us, if you have no business, real business to do, real issue to do not sit in streets looking at people walking by in front of you, because this one of the problems of this kind of habit, where most of us have it, especially back home, is that you will look at things that it's not your right to look at. You will look at haram stuff. You will talk about people. So imagine if that is not allowed in Islam. What more is this small device is bringing? If I can't sit outside and look at people walking, I sit on my phone or the computer and I see the whole world walking in front of me with no fear of no law of anything, which is very dangerous. And this is very important analogy. There's a lot into it, but please go home today with a promise between you and Allah Azza wa Jal that first, I will take care of my eyes and every ni'am and use it fi sabilillah, and I will not allow shaitan to make me use my eyes and tongue as a path to Jahannam. And teach this to your children. It is not a small matter, it's a huge one. There are a lot of more ayat and ahadith that it's a short khutbah we cannot cover. And we always pray to Allah Azza wa Jal, oh Allah, make us among those who hear the wisdom and the talk and the ayat and ahadith and apply them in our lives. Allahumma aghfir lana warhamna. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'na wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilma. Oh Allah, protect us from evil, protect us from not lowering our gaze. Oh Allah, make us among those who will follow the steps of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and fear the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal and fear Yawm al-Qiyamah. Oh Allah, make our homes our own paradise, our own place of tranquility and peace, and make evil out of our homes. Oh Allah, protect our children and help them go through the challenges in this new world. Oh Allah, make these devices we have in our hands, the mobile phone and the laptop and the iPod and all the other devices, make them work for us, not against us. Make them witness for us, not against us. In Yawm al-Qiyamah, make them tools that we can use to reach to Jannah, to Firdaus al-A'la, to reach to your marda, to your mahabba, to your Jannah. Ameen, ameen, ameen. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وأقم الصلاة.